Thanks. That's our time. Thanks for watching.
And the weather for Labor Day weekend should be picture perfect, but rain returns on Wednesday.
All right, Friday Night Showdown preview show coming up right now over on the CW. Good night.
You're watching the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show. For the next half hour, we will preview all the big games and tonight's CEFCU Friday Night Showdown Game of the Week. Joining us now live from our Game of the Week is Paul Wapple and Adam Anderson, back again for another season, my second season alongside this dynamic duo. Weather got the best of us in Week 1 last year, not happening this time. What are your guys' initial thoughts? Pleasant Plains versus New Berlin.
Yeah, thanks. Exciting, week 1 of the high school football season. Glad to be back for the 10th year. Pleasant Plains, a new coach. New Berlin has a new coach, but the Cardinals have a new coach, and it'll be interesting to see how the kids do with the new coach.
Yeah, we'll see. He's an alum. He's been in this program. Coach Hamilton, who was a former coach, is now defensive coordinator. He's still on the staff. It's an interesting dynamic, but I think it's going to work out well for the Cardinals.
We got great weather tonight. Should be a really good game. Everybody's undefeated at this point, so, always good to see what's going to happen. But the Cardinals have some key players back as well. But, Sammy, back to you.
Thanks, guys. We will join you again in just a moment, but first we take a look at our home team, the Pleasant Plains Cardinals. It wasn't their best year in 2024, but the new season brings new opportunities and a new head coach.
Kind of hit me like a couple of weeks ago that was finally actually here, and just all the work that you put in the off season, summertime, and it kind of seems like it's never going to get here, and then we're here and now it's going to fly by.
I mean, this week there's a lot of excitement. We've all been working since February to get to this point. March, been in the weight room.
Week 1 TV game, big game for the Sabre. I want that thing bad, super bad.
Our guys, they definitely want the Sabre back. We haven't had it, I think, now in 3 years. So our guys definitely want it back, and that's something that we've been working for. We've had our sign up, our countdown sign for beating New Berlin. It's been up there for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's definitely important because this is probably a playoff game for both teams, and to get this, it's just going to mean a lot, keeping us riding for the rest of the season. And it's basically we got to have this game to win.
We talked about it from day one with those guys that I want to see us play hard. I want to see us compete. I want to see us play good football, playing good fundamental football. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical, playing fast. Just a fun brand of football.
It's that type of mindset where if you're out here, you're going to get reps and you have a chance to play. But when you're out here, you got to go 100% every single rep, every single play. If you're not, why are you out here? If we get a win, start 1-0. I mean, we haven't started 1-0 in probably 7 years, so that would be big for the community. A lot of more people would be showing up to the games.
I'd definitely say the defensive side of the ball, because last year that's what we struggled with. We could move the ball last year, but it was our defense that really struggled last year. So I think if we do that, offense is going to come with it, and we should win.
So, guys, Pleasant Plains last year was tough for them, but in my time seeing them work, I like what I see from Coach Larson. What are you guys focusing on when it comes to the Cardinals?
Yeah, the Pretzels, they have a new coach. Trent Horton is here. I mean, he's been with the team, 3 years. You got Brady Cruz, a great two-way player.
Yeah, I think Brady Cruz is really the guy you got to watch tonight. They lost a lot of touchdowns from last year. Nelson's gone. He really carried this team. Can Brady Cruz do that? Can he get them over the hump? Really will these Pretzels to victory tonight.
Yeah, and the Pretzels have, on offense, a ton of starters back, all seniors in the starting lineup except for one player, so they've got the experience.
Yeah, and that means something in week one. Like you said, everybody is undefeated at this point. Having that senior leadership, senior experience does go a long way.
Yeah, and you always want to get that first win under your belt.
Yeah, especially Grant Saber tonight. We're playing for a traveling trophy. It means a little more between these two close communities. The crowd's starting to file in. You feel that kind of tension in the air a little bit. We're getting closer to game time.
Yeah, we are. Heard the band a few minutes ago. The music's going. The weather's just ideal. Thank you, Darren Leeds and Cheryl and everybody else. Just great. So, Sammy?
Yeah, Paul Adam, they jumped the gun. So now we're going to have to switch gears to the visitors. They revealed it. It's New Berlin, a playoff team last season, but also one just like Pleasant Plains that enters the new season under new leadership. Trent Horton and the Pretzels are the away half in today's battle for the Sabre.
It's a big rivalry game, playing for the Sabre. We always want to win that. Got to do our best.
I mean, I think it's just a sense of pride, right? I mean, I know they really want it back, right? And we want to keep it here.
It's crazy. We've been looking forward to this. I mean, us and Plains have a great rivalry. We were lifting and we had the Sabre in the weight room today. I mean, we really love the Sabre. We love it here. I mean, it's just a town thing. Like, we always expect to have it, and it's just non-negotiables. I feel like we want to win. We want to beat Plains all the time.
I think just kind of expect the unexpected. I mean, new coach, new system. I'm not totally sure, what he's going to do. We know he's got some athletes, so, we're going to have to contain that.
I trust him a lot. I think he knows a lot about football, and I think he can lead us in the right direction.
Having the new coach with the new offense and everything was great. Because, like, last year, I mean, I was just blocking for Clark. I mean, we love Clark, we miss him. But this year, I mean, we have a lot of weapons. Now that we're spreading the rock a little bit, I mean, it's great to have. And we can run the ball really well. We can run down their throat, and we can pass it right over them whenever we want. And it's great.
It's really important. Start the season off early with a win. Only makes our shot at making playoffs easier.
You want to get off on the right foot, right? You look at our schedule, it doesn't get easier later, right? So, I mean, I think it's very important, it's paramount, that we start strong.
Every week, just 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And then, I mean, we'll just take it one game at a time because we got big games coming up ahead, but we're really focused on Plains right now. We're not looking past anybody. We're just really locked in. Like, we're just so locked in right now.
That's a touchdown.
Now there's the road team. It's the Pretzels. They may talk about the Cardinals because we flip-flop there, but another coach making their debut in the game of the week, and another coach I've been very impressed by this preseason and offseason. Now, guys, what's the Pretzels' path to victory?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the players react to the new coach. Like we said, New Berlin, they've got a lot of players back. And Adam?
Coach Horton, he's been on a lot of different staffs in the area, so he's seen a lot of great leaders. He was under Derek Leonard. He's been at New Berlin for a few years now. So while it is his first head coaching experience, he's been around the game a lot. And then, on the other side, Logan Larson was a head coach last year up north. But coming home means something to him. This is different for him. It could be a little feeling out period, I think, in this first half as we get used to each other. I know they played scrimmages last week, but that's NFL preseason. You don't maybe go full speed like you want to tonight. So it will be interesting to see kind of who reacts, who impresses us, and maybe who gets out to an early lead.
It will be. See who gets off to a good start. Again, week one, always a great time. Sammy?
Thanks, guys. We'll be checking back with you guys in a few minutes after the break. But first, it's time for our Game of the Week players to watch. First, for the host, it's Grady Grisham, a deadly target that his quarterback called a generational kind of talent at the wide receiver position. He can pose all kind of problems, but the Pretzels, they know that too. The Grisham factor is going to be something to watch. Now, for New Berlin, they have a little more of a surprise potentially with Charlie Newman, their 6'3", 190-pound tight end, who Brady Cruz looked to often in their Week 0 scrimmage against North Mac. Now, look for him to be a frequent threat in this Pretzel offense that wants to throw the ball far more than they did in 2024. And coming up after the break, we preview a few other games around Central Illinois, including a big non-conference opener at Sacred Heart Griffin.
Welcome back to the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show.
Now guys, welcome back into the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown pregame show. We bring back our dynamic duo in the booth for tonight's game to talk about a few other exciting contests here in week one. And we start with a big one right here in Springfield, one for potential redemption. It's Sacred Heart Griffin guys opening up the year at home against Christian Brothers, a St. Louis powerhouse that beat the Cyclones 45-0 at their place last year. SHG, they certainly have had this game circled all off season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. SAC wants revenge. You know, you get shut out 45-0. CBC is one of the best teams, not only in the state of Missouri, they're one of the best teams in the country. Two of the players one's going to Fresno State, one's going to Kansas State, both for defensive purpose. They play both ways. Nick McClellan's one of them. CBC is loaded, but SHG's at home tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see. SHG played a lot of sophomores. Coach Allison believes in that class. They're a year older, so Mikey Gresh, Drew Ward, Sam Brinkman. Can those three guys maybe make this game a little bit closer? It is a tall task for Sacred Heart Griffin tonight. Let's see what kind of fight I don't think this will be indicative of how the rest of their season goes, but they want to test themselves early, and it's a big test.
Yeah, it certainly is. I talked to a couple of SHG players, and they said camp and everything preseason was different this year. They're more confident, they're more cohesive, they're more together, a better unit. We'll see if that turns into victories for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see. CBC, like we said, is loaded. Two players going Division I. They're great every year. It'll be interesting how the Cyclones go. Sammy?
Now guys, game two, a conference battle in the Sangamo. Moreau Forsyth coming off a 2A state final appearance, returning their starting QB and a few weapons as well, but they welcome Athens to town, a team that had a disappointing 2024, but they were following up a state final appearance in 2023. What are you guys expecting here?
Yeah, Athens, I think, is definitely going to be better than their 2-7 record last year. A big disappointment for them. They just had one of those years. Moreau Forsyth, they don't rebuild, they reload, right?
Yeah, Ryan Shepard is the top quarterback returning in the Sangamo, maybe in Central Illinois, actually. He is really a tough player and a great player to watch for the Trojans. Athens going over to Walter Boyd Field right off the interstate over there. That's a tough place to play at any time of the year. But I do think Athens is going to be better this year. That was an anomaly for them. Coming off a second place finish in Class 2A and then going to 2-7, it was just one of those things that happens sometimes. I know Coach Knox and that community have really kind of rejuvenated after that bad year. I've got some family over there. I know they're fired up for this season to get started.
Always tough to play the Trojans, but if you're going to play them, I guess maybe the best time to play them is the first game of the season. Maybe the Trojans make some mistakes and help Athens. Who knows, right?
I don't know if there's a great time to ever play Josh Josephs and that staff. He's going to have them ready to go. They'll be in midseason form by the time they take that field tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we'll see Moreau Forsyth, one of the teams we'll see later this year on Friday Night Showdown. Sammy, back to you.
Now, thanks, guys. Now we turn to the eastern side of the state and we check in with Carson Gordy. He has a little high school for us, but also a little Illinois football season opener tonight against Western Illinois. Carson, go ahead and break down all the action over in Champaign.
Like a long time, but college football and high school football, it is back in Central Illinois. I'll be at Memorial Stadium tonight for that Illinois season opener. They're going to take on Western Illinois, and we are told that the Leathernecks are relishing this opportunity.
Super excited. I really hope that none of the guys go in there and are scared. I play a Big Ten team in a Big Ten stadium. It's unbelievable, and I hope that we can punch them in the mouth a couple times.
But Illinois, they're a 45-point favorite. That is the largest spread in all of college football. Plenty of hype in Champaign after a Citrus Bowl victory and starting off with a top 12 ranking. But Illinois, they've only had one consecutive winning season since 1990. So Illinois head coach Brett Bielema, he knows they need to stay hungry.
Preseason rankings, right, but it was brought to my attention there were several that didn't even rank us, right? So I think our success is temporary in people's eyes, right? So I think for us to go out there and prove it this week against Western Illinois is the first step.
Illinois is a big favorite, but we still got questions. For example, who's going to be Illinois' top wide receiver? They lost Pat Bryan and Shakari Franklin to the NFL, so there's a big vacuum to fill. And the coaches say they're going to play a ton of guys on Friday night and try to figure out the question themselves. In the tight end room, Illinois, they brought in 3 transfers to juice up the passing game. But who's going to get the most snaps tonight alongside Tanner Arkin? In question number 3, the defensive line is completely new with transfers. 2 from Wisconsin and 1 from Florida State. Let's see if they bring the juice tonight and prove that Illinois run defense. And the game's on Peacock tonight, so if you don't have that streaming service, no problem. You can catch the highlights on News Channel 20 and Fox Illinois. And we're also going to have interviews from the 2005 Illinois basketball team that nearly won the national championship. At the game, it's going to be Darren Williams, Dee Brown, and also Bruce Weber. And tonight, our team, we're also going to cover top high school games in the region. Rantoul traveling to Tolono Unity, looking to knock off the Rockets. But Unity, they're loaded. They returned most starters from a team that scored 40 points per game last year. Central Missouri quarterback Dane Eisenmecker, he's a big guy and he's got a really big arm. Unity's led by first-time head coach Tony Reeves. He takes over from Scott Hamilton, who made 6 state championships. The program thinks they could win it all in 2025.
They always say don't follow legend. Around here, I think Scott Hamilton's legend is where you would start. I know how much football means to this community. To be the guy who's the face of the program is quite an honor.
We're also going to catch the Peoria-Champaign Centennial matchup. Chargers lost a lot of seniors last year after a surprising losing season. They're going to count on a lot of underclassmen and a lethal rushing attack to get back into the postseason. But no doubt, Peoria Week 1, that is a big challenge. I'm Carson Gordy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tonight.
Thanks, Carson, and don't forget we'll have all the highlights from tonight's games coming up in our CEFCU Friday Night Showdown recap show. Now, the recap show kicks off at 10:15 over on News Channel 20, and I'll be breaking down all the action highlights from the game of the week, as well as every other big game around Central Illinois. Again, that's tonight at 10:15 over on ABC. And after the break, we will check in with the rest of our Friday Night Showdown team, including a weather update from our own Darren Leans. And as he did last year, our Spencer Davis, he's got a little something fun in store. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show.
Now, welcome back into the preview show. We're going to be heading back out to Pleasant Plains to check in with the rest of our Friday Night Showdown crew, starting with meteorologist Darren Leeds for a look at the football forecast. Darren, take it away.
Yeah, and Sammy, you really couldn't have asked for a better night to kick off our 2025 high school football season. It was a little warmer earlier this afternoon during our 5:30, 6 o'clock shows. Temperatures already dropping into the upper 70s right now. I've got 78 right now on my portable weather station here, and the winds have continued to be fairly calm. We're seeing them between about 2-3 miles per hour at the strongest. So again, once we start to lose the sun a little bit, those numbers start to lower. Maybe you want an extra jacket, some long sleeves, but most of the folks I see out here, short sleeves, t-shirts. But yes, very comfortable weather here in late August as we're beginning our football season. And maybe you want some chillier weather, but you're just going to have to wait a little bit for that. Reporting live in Pleasant Plains, meteorologist Darren Lee. Sammy, back to you.
Thanks, Darren. Now, our first game of the season was last night, and if that was a tone setter, I should say, for the season, we are in for a good one. Springfield High on the road against Champaign Central, down 14-0 early at the end of the first, but who cares? The Senators, they were all the way back, 51-41. Brody Scheffler and Cale Thurman combining for 4 touchdowns through the air as Springfield High wins the early game of the season candidate. And high school football, of course, brings excitement to the entire community, including those not in between the white lines, and this week, those who might go a little under-recognized. So our sideline reporter, Spencer Davis, is live in Pleasant Plains with more. Spencer, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Sammy. And super excited to be back out here with another season of Friday Night Showdown. I caught up with a local referee to kind of learn about what their off-season looks like and how they stay prepared for the season. Check it out.
We're pretty busy in the off-season, especially during the summer. We have our football season, which is, the big time of year. But during the summer, we go to camps, clinics. We do a lot of officials education for any of the new rules that we have in place. We have a few new ones this year that I think people will be interested to see in the high school game. So we go and spend usually 4 to 5 hours at a clinic. We get some on-field exposure, specifically with football. But a lot of our officials, we do multiple sports. So with basketball and baseball clinics, summers are usually pretty busy, especially with the camps that all the kids have.
What's a rule that the fans should kind of keep an eye out for?
This year we've got the new forward fumble rule. So like you would see in college, if a kid fumbles the ball forward, they're going to bring it back to the spot of the fumble if it goes out of bounds. So there's going to be some timing issues that are involved with that, and some learning for the fans and the players as well. But that's the big one for this year.
Do you have a favorite memory as an official?
I have been extremely fortunate in my career and been able to work a couple of state championship games. The state championship game over in Champaign a couple years ago was phenomenal. Great environment. Kids are awesome. Coaches are awesome. Definitely a highlight of my career.
Now, Tisdale won't be out here tonight in Pleasant Plains, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see him later on in action on FNS. But for now, that's all I've got, Sammy. Back to you in the stew.
Thanks, Spencer, not the stew. Now, when we come back, we'll wrap up the Green Hyundai preview show before sending things out to Paul Adam and Spencer not in the stew for our Friday Night Showdown game of the week. Even if the anthem is done, if you want to take the field quickly, just to show like, hey, they're about to get going, just show the progress, that's also totally fine. Even if you open up my mic so I can narrate that and then I'll jump into the script. I just think I would like to take one final live bump if we can, even if it's not the anthem. Okay. Anthem is over. Okay, that's fine. Just, yeah, take the field if we can, if that's okay.
Welcome back to the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show.
And we take a quick look at the field anthem already in the books. We are just moments away from the first kickoff for Friday Night Showdown and the high school football season. It is finally upon us, but we are now approaching the end of our show. That's about our time for the Green Hyundai Friday Night Showdown preview show. But we'll be back next week for our SEFCU Friday Night Showdown Game of the Week. And it's week 2, and it could very well be the best game on the entire schedule. Now, we haven't had Rochester in a few years in our Game of the Week. The Rockets, they're going to be back on the road, and they bring a younger unit overall to Mount Zion to take on the Braves and their high-powered offense. Stocks, Anderson, Harvey, and company, and they'll be coming off a 4A state title game appearance, so that's sure to be an incredible game coming up. And with our current Game of the Week staff, though, we had to take a look at what everybody's thinking. Carson, he is on Illinois duty tonight and is backing the Cardinals in tonight's matchup, thinking 21-14. That's his prediction. Spencer Davis and I, we are speaking the same language. He's on sideline rocking with the Pretzels in this one. His prediction 27-13 for this one, and I'm going to be rocking with New Berlin as well. The Cardinals, they could surprise some people this year, but New Berlin, they were a playoff team last year. A lot coming back. I'm going 31-14, a little bit of a lopsided score, but I really like what I'm seeing from the Pretzels, and Newman, he's a dangerous target. Now, our broadcast tandem, Paul and Adam, they are both backing the home team here in Pleasant Plains. Paul, he's taking the Cardinals 28-21, and Adam 20-12. So overall, staff leaning towards Pleasant Plains as their overall pick in tonight's Friday Night Showdown Game of the Week 1. Game of the week. So it'll be very interesting to see. I really just think New Berlin and Coach Courtney and what he's bringing is going to match up really well against Pleasant Plains. And we talked about it earlier in this matchup. Pleasant Plains, they have Grady Grisham, but who do they look to as a weapon outside of Grady Grisham, especially with him getting some targets? It'll be very interesting. But that does it here. We will see you guys again at 10:15 for all the post-game football action and coverage over on ABC. But that does it for me here in studio. I'm going to let Paul, Adam, take it away over at Pleasant Plains.
The Plains Unified Sports Program. Purchase a 50/50 raffle ticket. You can find them by the concession stand. We'll be giving away the award and the winnings at halftime. Also look like Carmel's